Let's focus now on our first big segment, gents, and it is previewing England against France in the World Cup quarterfinal. Massive clash. Let's talk about who the favourites are, look at the French side, the English side. I have to say, from where I live in southern England, obviously France, just a short hop across the channel, there's a lot of rivalry, a lot of respect. But yeah, this is going to be a big one for both nations. And Nick, when we look at France, would you say the favourites? I mean, look, going forward, Mbappe, Dembele, Griezmann, Giroud, on fire going forward. The only issue I have with them is maybe defensively a little bit, even against Poland, who have been pretty lackluster. They coughed up quite a few chances and obviously haven't had a clean sheet yet. And Hugo Lloris has looked a little bit shaky, but maybe I'm just focusing on some negatives from an English perspective, but France still had the edge, right? The reigning champs.
Yeah, I mean, Lloris was shaky. Andy's been talking about that for a bit as a Tottenham guy. Jules Koundé looks a little weird on the right side. I understand the idea, but at times he looked a little like a guy who was playing out of position. So there are questions there. But I said yes quickly, and it was important because I wanted the thought to be what you said about the Senegal-England game. For 30 minutes, England looked like, uh-oh. And that just should, I know Senegal is athletic and fast, and I have a good identity, and they can play both direct and through combo, but it should not have been like that for a half an hour against a team that was going to win the tournament. We have not seen France have that happen for more than 10, maybe 15 minutes tops the entire tournament. And so for me, that was a warning bell. The louder warning bell is Matty Cash, the design of marking Kylian Mbappe, which worked at times to get in front of him quickly to try and stop him from getting to the ball. When Cash, a fine player in his own right, got there first, lost the ball because Mbappe physically bossed him, and then blazed past him running faster with the ball, then Cash had a prayer of running without it. And it made me say, oh my gosh, this player is unbelievable.
Yeah, you basically, any team coming up against France right now, it's like, okay, let's try and contain everyone and let's just hope for the best from Kylian Mbappe. You can have all kinds of defensive plans against him. And the 2 goals he scored, Andy, were just world class. Obviously, so it's 16 goals in his last 14 games for France now and just breaking records all over the place. So
it's Haaland numbers.
Exactly. And the debate about him and Haaland is going to rumble on. But right now, you'd have to say he's taken another World Cup by storm. So he's ahead of Haaland in that regard. But for the French, I mean, what do you think about them? Obviously, strengths going forward, Giroud, Griezmann, Dembele, Mbappe. It's all slotting together very nicely, right? A really nice kind of, I guess they just complement each other really well, don't they? And it just slots together perfectly in attack. But midfield and defense, is it strong enough to go all the way at the World Cup?
Oh, that is such a tough question. And I think it's really tough to answer right now, especially because of the matchup with England. And not because I don't think England are as good as France, but I think where England are strong, and Nick said it immediately when we started talking about them today, was the midfield performance. And that is where France really struggle. And if England are able to control the game and possession and build slowly the way that teams and Poland especially today were not able to do, it was all how quick can we get the ball up the field, how quick can we cross it into the box. That didn't quite work, but I do think England with Bellingham, his growing influence is so incredible. We know how solid they are with Declan Rice sitting there in front of the back line, Jordan Henderson as an option, whether as a starter or off the bench. It feels like England kind of have the squad to really, really give France a lot of trouble. And obviously, the matchup at center forward, Mbappe, Kane on the other side, whether Mbappe plays center forward or not, it almost doesn't matter. But I will say I was glad to see Harry Kane get a good 90 minutes of fitness under his legs in this game as they were up 3-0 very late on. By the way, 2,700 minutes Harry Kane has played since the summer. That is just about an entire Premier League season's worth of minutes in 4.5 months. He's going to fall apart at some point.
Oh, he's in end of season form right now, and it's only early December. So sorry, Tottenham fans, but with my England hat on, it's great to see him flying like this and threading both.
Remember that I made a joke about that 4 months from now, when I am just lamenting the fact that Harry Kane is nowhere to be found ever again.
Yeah, but it's great to see him like putting those little balls through, obviously getting his goal and just making England's attack per. I mean, Nick is 12 goals now in 4 games. I guess 3 games because they didn't score against the US. So Bellingham.
Few did, Joe. Few did.
Yes, exactly. Foden and Bellingham was superb, extra kind of class. But defensively, we talked about it there, coming up against Kylian Mbappe. What do? Do you just go one-on-one and back Kyle Walker and his speed to just recover behind Mbappe? Or do you actually switch? Because England do this a lot. They play a back three a lot with Walker as the right-sided centre-back, and then maybe Trippier comes in as the right wing-back to have extra cover there. Or do you just keep doing what you're doing if you're England? It's a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm at the point where I I do whatever I think gives me the best chance to score goals. And then I just really big up Jordan Pickford's confidence because he's going to have to make saves. The reason I say that, the two Mbappe goals, the first one, he's coming in from the left side, right? Same spot from his left. And he opens up his hips and the keeper goes one way and he cuts it, like opens the gate, as you might say, cuts it inside the post. And the next time he's coming from basically the same spot and you actually see the keeper cheat a little bit to his right because that's what happened the last time. Yeah. And the ball goes the other way and just misses him because he had to respect that this guy's just not going to shoot across goal like everyone else. He's smart. He's physical. He's confident. He's clearly having the time of his life. And that is the main reason that I picked Brazil to beat France in the final, and now I want that back, which is crazy because Brazil's been fine.
Yeah, but France are just clicking through the gears ominously, aren't they, Andy? So is there any way England can stop this French attack defensively? Anything they can do differently?
I think it's through possession, and that has kind of been the theme of this World Cup is, without time to prepare, it is really, really hard to get everybody on the same page. And so with a lot of these games, 30 minutes, and actually maybe England-Senegal, very structured for 30 minutes, that game was. And Senegal able to hang in there. And Poland for as well. They had a lot of joy early in that game. But once the game gets stretched a little bit, it almost becomes street ball. And then we see, then it really becomes about who's got the most talent. And those teams are starting in the knockout stages at least to win out. And so if it does come down to that, probably favors France just a little bit. But I do, again, that midfield for England is so strong. You've got Kane up there that's able to hold the ball up as well. And Poland didn't really look for Lewandowski to do that. And so they couldn't play out of trouble a lot. Obviously, Kane will do that. He'll create the chances, like you say. To have two forwards, center forward, wide forward, whatever, as complete of players as these two are, is absolutely, it's going to be one of the best games of the World Cup. And I'm actually really glad there's 6 days between today and when they play. Everybody gets a rest. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Looking forward to that. And like you said, it's going to be a huge game between two heavyweights in the World Cup. And Nick, I'm going to ask you a prediction, but also whoever wins this game, it seems like, not to disrespect the other teams on that side of the bracket, but it seems like they're pretty primed to go to the final, right? If you look at Portugal, Spain, Morocco, and Switzerland, they're on that side of the bracket. Again, no disrespect to them, but would you say England and France are ahead of Spain and Portugal at this point of the tournament? And yeah, what's your prediction? How do you think it's going to shake out between England and France?
I'm going to hedge and say, talk to me after I see their first knockout round games, because my gut, I think you're right, by the way, but my gut was to say, no, not at all. I think that side of the bracket's going to be a real fight. I'd rather be on the other side, as you know, and I will probably lament for another 4.5 years. But I think anything could happen on that bottom, but I'm going to want to see how Spain looks versus Morocco. Because I mentioned, if Morocco wins, I'm going to think they could be a team of destiny. If Spain dispatches them with style, I'm going to be like, wow, look what they just did. So, yeah, there's a lot. And Portugal, again, as we mentioned, I know there are calls right now. I think we tweeted it out at NBC Sports Soccer. 70% of Portugal fans polled want Ronaldo benched. That is interesting.
Yeah, it really is. Andy, what's your prediction for England against France? What you think is going to happen?
I think it's going to extra time. It's going to be really, really even. 2-2 probably going into extra time. And on that side of the bracket, I do agree, actually. As much as I want to get behind Morocco and Spain and Portugal as well, because they're all very, very fun to watch, they're going to get considerably less rest between the round of 16 to their quarterfinals. So they're going to maintain playing every 3 or 4 days, whereas these couple of teams earlier on are going to get an extra couple of days. So when they meet then, there's going to be a massive, massive advantage for whichever one of those mega talented teams, France or England, get through.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with my heart, and I think England can actually do it. I'm actually really excited the way they're playing and the way that scoring going forward, I think that gives them a chance. And I think they've been good enough defensively, Maguire and Stones and Luke Shaw, Pickford, and then Declan Rice in front of them. But this is going to be their biggest test so far. So like you said, Andy, it's going to be really tight. Going to be a great battle between England and France. And head over to Pro Soccer Talk at NBCSports.com for all the latest news, how to watch information, preview, lineups, everything you need, reaction before, during, and after a massive World Cup quarterfinal. England play France for a place in the World Cup semi-finals.